Hello, everyone. Hey, everyone. How's it going? How are
Oh,
you?
good morning,
Good
everybody.
morning. Debbie, will you just watch your mic? It's scratching off your scarf and bring. Hello, everyone. We would like to make this audio enjoyable for you. I'll turn off all my notifications. Today, we are going to talk to you. I'm with Troy. Say hi, Troy.
Hello.
And I'm with my partner in crime, Debbie O'Brien.
Morning, darling.
Good morning. Good morning. And we are going to talk to you about something that has transformed our lives. The how to become. Yeah. Oh my God. I have to get a photograph of that. What would it take? This is called the How to Become Money Workbook, and we started tonight for 10 weeks. We go right through Christmas. What would you guys, I'd love to tell a story change, but I'm going to start you guys with your story of change. What changed for you when you picked up this book?
Oh, maybe would you like to go first?
I'll go first. I saw you did that thing I do where you were like, oh, let me have a think. So I'll tell you the biggest impact this book has had on my life, and it's a bit of a backstory, it's 2 years ago now. I did my first money workbook with Rach, and I'm not sure, and actually we weren't working together yet, and I chose the money workbook because I had just, my daughter just decided she was going to go off to university, and I don't know who knows, do you remember? And because we're from South Africa, she's here. I have British residency, my husband, but my daughters are both on visas, so she couldn't get education here paid for. So she chose to go to university, and I was rah, let's do that, let's go. Started to look at universities, and the next thing I realized is that I would have to pay £9,000 for the year for university education, and then on top of that we worked out another 6,000 for halls, and then on top of that was about another 3,000-4,000 just to live, and have whatever she needed. So it was about £19,000. So I did a major contraction. The first thing I did is I literally froze up. Then I got my little spreadsheets out, and then I froze up even more because I realized, looking at the spreadsheets logically and putting in all my budgets, that there was no logical way that I could actually find that money, like based on my income and what I was earning and where the money was coming from. And I'd promised her back in South Africa that I would put her through university. So I'd start, and actually it was so weird because the first time I found that out was in the February, and we started the money workbook, I think, in the February. And as we went through the money workbook, it was transformational for me in terms of the way that I perceived what money was in my life and what I was towards money. By the end of it, so it was 10 weeks, so we got to the April and completely transformed. In the May, I actually sat here one day, lowered my barriers, and I literally was asking, where's this money? How can I create this? Where can it be from a completely different space? I literally then went to what I do know from when I was a baby, that the universe has my back, and that if this is really what's required, it will transpire. And within 2 months, we'd actually created the money. And some of it came from my mum, and that was a big lower my barriers because I had to receive from my mum. I was literally in tears. She phoned me up and said, oh, I think I'd like to help you with Tamika's education. And I was like, whoa, I've never ever taken money from her in my whole life. So I really had to lower my barriers. And she helped me a lot with that. I was able to receive that, which I would never have before. I was always like, I'm independent, I'm a woman, I can do this on my own. So I literally had to change the way I perceived that. And the balance of it has actually just, every time I've required to pay it, the money has come through ups, downs. My husband lost his job for a while. I changed my working environment. The money has absolutely come every time. And it's really through a trust of knowing that the money will be there when you need it. And still not sitting back and just saying, oh, I'm watching TV and the money's going to fall in my lap, because that's not how it works. But what can I do through question, through creating it, and through looking at the situation differently? So for me, Rach, that, and I'm really grateful for you and that, and this workbook, because it is something different. Yeah, I think that's a cry. I'm normally the one crying.
I know, it's just that when you hear these stories, it first of all, um, for me, my story is I had grown up with I had a lot of sexual abuse as a child, and there was no being, there was no space, so I had become so contracted. But I always had an ability and a capacity to have money when I chose it, but I didn't have this space with it. It was just like this need, and then so I had so much stress and contraction, and I actually was suicidal one point because I got into so much debt. I haven't really talked about this, and you just showed me this today. So it looked like my house was going to go back to the bank. I had no clue in 2012 what to do next. You know, and do you know what I did? I dusted myself down and I got up out of bed, and it was so amazing. The commitment that I made is that there's no way that my children wouldn't have a beautiful house to live in the countryside, and that I was going to take action. And I didn't take action with a plan of what it was going to look like. I picked up this book and I knew, and no one had said that to me in words. I couldn't talk about it like this because we are an energy. Okay, we have this point of view that we're only our bodies and the limitation of our body. But we are energy, and your energy determines your relationship and how you receive money. And I didn't have that information because I was contracting my whole life. And when I picked up this book, and I'll read this because this is what blew my universe apart. Abundance in all things is the understanding and reality that you are connected to each and every being upon this plane and to each and every molecule upon this plane, and that every one of them is in support of you and the energy and the power that you are. If you function from anything less than that, you are just being a wimp. That was the piece of information that got me to look at, hang on a second, I am functioning from an ideal that money is greater than me. This was the first thing that I learned about myself. And then the second thing that I learned about myself is that as an energetic being, I am part of a universe. I'm just going to turn my camera. I am part of, I am part of a universe that gives me everything and supports me. That was a big leap for me because I truly believed I was on my own. I truly believed I was on my own.
You know what you've just reminded me, and this is mind-blowing. You know who bought the first money workbook in my house? Take a guess.
Justin.
Tamika,
yeah.
And that's whose university. Oh my God, I've just realized now. Before I chose the money workbook with you, she walked in and said, Mom, I've ordered this workbook from Access and I'd like to do the money workbook with you sometime. And we never did it. And then in February I started. She was the first one that brought that in our house.
So she was the one that created it. So this for
Wow.
me, and Troy is here with us too. I've watched Troy really show up with his struggles with money and his belief that, you know, I'm a Turkish man, here is my limitation. And I've watched you. I have watched you grow and choose your reality in ways that has touched me, that I have so much gratitude for what you continue to choose and be. There is a choosing. One thing about Troy, he's not willing to be right about his limitation. He is always willing to go, hang on a second, I have bought this point of view that things are greater than me. I will choose my reality. Would you like to talk about what changed for you?
Yeah, thank you for that. And yeah, actually, one of the things I was looking at, especially with the book, there was just a line that I really like, that it says if you don't be grateful what you have, you can't receive more. And yeah, and actually it's so interesting about playing with this book, and especially with the tools, because most of the time, when I'm living until now, maybe until 3 or 4 months, I was always functioning from I can't change anything about money. It's gonna be solid. It's no way to go around it. And actually, when I start to using these tools, it's so interesting because I start to get more aware that everything I made, like everything like I did like about that about to be like money, I'm able to see like actually is not. And
It's not true. It's a lie.
yeah, it's not true. It's like, yeah. And yeah, it's so like interesting. Like the tools actually is working, and I'm really willing to have like more ease with money. And yeah, like it's so like, oh my god, like just like knowing actually the tool is working is so like a different like universe, because like there's like a reality out there that's saying like you must like suffer, you must have pain, and like there's like another possibility if you just like choose it, is there, and it's so easy. And like like the way like David said, like universe like truly have our back. So yeah, like truly what is possible.
Yeah. And you know, the beautiful thing in all this is that we showed up with our points of views that we had judged money to be greater than us. But we showed up with all those viewpoints. And for me, I handed them over to an energy of caring, loving, and gratitude. And that's been consciousness for me. And that has continually shown me I have your back. Gary Douglas said, I ask for money and I receive it. The purpose of this book is so that you can stop having judgment. If you have a judgment, all that can come into your world is more judgment. Okay. When you give up those judgments, you will have communion and connection, and you can ask for money to come, and it will. And it sounds crazy, it works. I haven't seen anyone that has gone through the money workbook page by page, question by question, over and over again, and their reality hasn't changed. And I'm living proof of that today. I'm actually living proof of that today.
Carry on, Troy.
Yeah, please, like.
The big thing for me was there's lots of implanted point of views or hidden points of views that I had that I didn't realize were there. I remember driving to London listening to one of them. By the time I got to the hotel, I was flying out the next day. I was just absolutely gobsmacked because something was shown to me just in reading the book that I had no idea was actually there, and that I had bought it as a line of limitation, that it was actually there holding me back. And that's absolutely what I find this book does, is let me see the places where I've bought stuff that's just not true, and I'm living it every day as it's true, but I've no idea that it's actually holding me back. That's totally. I love this book. I really do.
Totally. And I'm so glad that you said it. Troy, what were you going to say?
Yeah, actually, like when you said about like asking for money, like when we like one of your calls, you just said like, are you asking money all day long? And like there's like a like idea for me that actually like it's just like mental limitation for me, because like I was like going, could I really ask for money? Am I allowed to? And like when you just like said that, I start to like just really ask for money, and it's like not like it's like I start to get like more aware of like it's not like actually just like having the money. It's like actually you start to open yourself to receive more, and it can like bring so much like joy, like maybe meeting with other people, or like it's so amazing, and it's like bring money as well. So yeah, thank you.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome.
I was just wondering something because I didn't know it. Are there any prereqs for the money workbook, or is there anybody?
No,
That's
I've had
so
people
brilliant.
come onto this. I've had people that come onto this. They didn't even know access. I had a guy one time in West Cork in Ireland. He didn't even know access, and he jumped on this. So we can only invite you to possibilities. You can choose the rightness of your point of view, or you can choose that you're beyond your definition. You're beyond the Irish broke girl, you know, that wasn't good enough. What this book is, it shows you that you are a being, and that my favorite line, that each and every molecule upon this plane is in support of you and the energy and the power that you are. Wow. There is no diminishment of you in energy. If you become the power that you are, all you have to do is live in ease, joy
and glory.
And glory.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Thank you,
What would
Rach.
you be like? Thanks so much
Well,
for
I'm
being
looking
here.
forward to tonight.
Me too. I can't wait for tonight. How does it get any better? Mwah. Thanks, Troy. I adore
you.
you. Thanks for choosing your reality. Thanks for being here, me
Thanks,
Deb.
Troy. Chat to you
Bye
later.
for now.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.